All right, can you guys see my screen now? And can you hear me and all that good stuff? And thank you for pointing that out, Colorado Adventure Club. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Were you guys able to hear me before or no? No, I think I broke everybody's PC. Just kidding. So no, yeah, I was probably talking for 20 minutes. Great. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right, so I'll restart what I said in the beginning of the stream here. So shout out to Robert, who's normally on our streams but not here today. We'll be printing one of his cable rollers, so make sure that you go into the stream here or into the description and go out and like his model and bookmark it. And he actually has a whole bunch of cool stuff on here that he's done. If you want to print along next week, we'll probably do this print in place test plate that he sent us. He sent me this just the other day, but I had already been planning on doing the cable roller here, but we might print these next week in the print as well. So what we're printing this evening is that cable roller, and what I did is split it in two and then did the print by object, which for those of you that are new or haven't done anything, that's under the others right here, and print by object. So sorry about that, everybody. Gosh, yeah, I was talking to myself for 20 minutes. Good grief. So I hope everybody's doing good. So I wanted to get the print going, which it is. Let me make sure it's not messing up here, which it looks like it might be trying to. I think just that first little piece might be there. We'll see if it messes up on stream for me again. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was my thoughts on the A1 Mini and all of that. So here's a picture of that. So I'll give my thoughts on the A1 Mini and the AMS Lite. I'll be honest, at first, Colorado Adventure Club will tell you I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't the extra large Bambu that we all wanted. But honestly, the more that I thought about this, the more I see that it does make sense, and they do need to hit this price point. And to be completely fair, $459 to do 4-color, you're kind of limited in what type of filament you're using, but I print mostly PLA, except I have been getting into more ABS and ASA here lately with some of the stuff that I'm doing. But for a beginning printer, when I first started out with my Creality, I think I paid $350, $380. This isn't that much more, and it does 4 colors. The print bed is a little bit small. Like, I was looking at some of the things that you wouldn't be able to print on there, like a spool holder. I think the hex plates are pushing the limit on there if you want to do the honeycomb plate wall stuff. But for a beginner printer, it looks solid for that and for that price point. And I do see what they're doing. And I do think that this is something that will benefit all of us, because being able to hit this price point will definitely put some more dollars in the R&D bank for our X1 and new AMS maybe that comes out. This is kind of cool. I think Eduardo and everybody was talking about, you do save some time because the filament doesn't have to pull all the way back, and it's not sharing one tube like it does with the AMS, right? So you're saving a couple of seconds with every filament change, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you have 3 filament changes per layer and you have 300 layers, whew, you know, that's a lot. That starts to add up. And then Justin, they aren't going after existing customers. They're going after new customers with the A1. Exactly. And I was a little bit mad at that at first as well. But if you think about it, bringing more people into our community only benefits everybody in the long run. So that's kind of the way that I look at it there. Yeah, it's not a printer. They're not going after getting more of my money, which I think somebody said now they have some time to save up money, and I thought the same thing. So that's really funny. But yeah, they're definitely bringing more people into our community, and I do think that's a good thing. And then Alistair, I would have loved to have this as my first printer for sure. If I could have gone back and got this instead of my Creality, I probably would be doing a lot more with 3D printing, because the bad experience with that first printer, you know, almost got me out of 3D printing in general, and you guys would have never met me at all. So, you know, having a good experience brings more people into the hobby, into the community, which brings more money, more R&D, more people to watch my stream, more people to download all of the, you know, stuff off of printables and the new Maker Warehouse or whatever that is. So all of that. So definitely agree. This would have been a great first printer for somebody. And this is a great way to bring some more people into our community. So that's kind of the way that I look at it there. Is this is, you know, as my first printer. I don't think this is something for me. I don't think I need to go and purchase it. But if I were buying a first printer, you know, $460 is not a lot of money. That lowers the barrier to get into multicolor printing. And I really think that that's the good experience that people need to have to really help to kind of grow our community and, you know, bring out more R&D for those larger format printers, and, you know, more innovation and the multicolor or multi-material systems or everything. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Let me read some of the comments here. You won't need to print spools with the AMS Lite. And then Colorado Adventure Club, Apple is closed loop, and look how good it does. Yeah, you know, when your stuff is closed loop and you pay attention to everything, and you see they started out with one model of iPhone, and then look at how many price points they're trying to hit now, and that somewhat breeds innovation. I don't know that they innovate every year, but every couple of years they bring out something cool. Yeah, come out the A1 first to develop new technology. It makes total sense. This is all to grab more people into our community, right? And hopefully they'll buy more filament and all of that, you know, and we'll get all of the R&D with filaments, with, you know, all of the third-party ecosystem that Bambu supports, as well as Bambu themselves. So I think it'll be really good for us all in the long run. And it will help to develop that extra large. The catcher's mitt to control all the waste. So they went. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. That made me chuckle pretty hard. That thing. Yeah, I don't know what that thing. They went from the poop chute to the catcher's mitt. I haven't heard it called the catcher's mitt. But that's pretty funny, Joe. That I'm going to use that catcher's mitt. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to effectively get control of the little poop chutes there, but that's interesting. Yeah, you know, Eduardo, I think you're right. It's only a matter of a few months. If you remember, they came out with the AMS or the X1 and the AMS. Then a few months later, they came out with the P1P. A few months after that, the P1S. A few months after that, the A1 Mini. So I think it's a matter of time we'll get a X1 or a X2 or the X1 XL or something like that. I totally agree with you. A couple months we'll see one. Yeah, I believe Joe, I do think the P1S does have a RJ45 or a Ethernet port. Isn't that down in here somewhere? Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Bambu bus. Whatever that means. Is the Bambu bus the Ethernet cable? In the Colorado Adventure Club, there was another patent for another machine, I heard. And then Peter, I'm planning on getting one for my grandsons for Christmas. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect gift for, somebody getting into 3D printing that's not going to do the carbon fiber and the ABS and ASA and all of that, but it's just getting into 3D printing and learning how to do it and, really getting started on it. That's the perfect thing for them. So that's really cool. It's really cool, Peter. And then Justin, turn your shipping box on its side and place next to the ejector. Yeah, something like that. And then Justin, I'm thinking January to March 2024 will have a larger option, something like that. Yeah, and I saw the interview with the CEO that said it'll be coming out in the near future with the larger printer. And I would hope that they have a new multi-material system. And the big issue, Eduardo, with the A1 Mini is it's very, very small. Yeah, I agree. The print bed is very, very small. But again, if you look at the target audience for that, right? And I think Peter has a great target audience there. His grandsons that are getting into 3D printing and looking at all of that. Do they really need to print giant things all the time? I don't know. And I mean, what are we printing tonight? Are we printing anything that's really using that entire bed? Probably not. But I would agree, it does limit you to what you can print. But I'd say it's probably not the worst thing in the world. When the box is full, put a label and return to sender. That's funny. But 220 by 220 is okay. Is it 220? I thought it was 180. That's the P1S. Yeah, it's only 180 by 180 by 180. And Jeff, send it to me. I'll take it. Even though it's small, it's a fast printer. Yeah, again, like, what are we printing tonight? Do I need this big old giant bed for what we're printing tonight? No. You could easily print that on there. It's a fast printer. There you go. Get it done. You know what I mean? I would take it too. I'm not going to go buy it. I don't have any grandsons to send it to. But if somebody wants to send me one to try out, I'll put that thing to use for sure. It's going to be good. I mean, everything that I've messed with from Bambu so far, everything has been really, really good. And Peter, 12 and 14, that's perfect. One of my friends, little nephews or whatever, just got a Creality printer or whatever. And I was just thinking the same thing, like, man, they would have waited just a little while longer, that A1 Mini would have been perfect for them, because they would have been able to do the multicolor print and, you know, do all of that. And, you know, that's a great thing for, you know, young kids that are, you know, have a maker mind or something like that, you know, doing multi-material, multicolor prints. That's not the easiest thing in the world. And, you know, setting all of that up and having the idea to put that whole plan together and print it out at the end, you know, that's a good thing for somebody to do. And to be able to do that for $460, yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I think I can deal with the small bed for the price point there. I agree. Would have been better at 220 by 220. I agree, but I can deal with the trade-off for the benefits, for all the other benefits that I mentioned. I can definitely do that. So let's talk about another interesting thing that I saw on Bambu's website here. Did you all see this? Let's go to the accessories for the X1. They're now calling the high temperature plate smooth PEI. Weird, right? Maybe they've been calling it that for a little while, but I didn't notice that until they put it here. Now they call it smooth PEI plate, high temp plate in the slicer here. So I noticed that with the new update that just came through the other day, that smooth PEI plate is what they're calling the high temp plate. And if you go into the accessories for the A1, they just call it a smooth PEI plate. They don't call it a high temperature plate. So I thought that was interesting. Anybody else see that? And what's interesting is, with it being PEI, I think it still recommends glue, at least on the one for the X1. It recommends glue on everything, or mostly everything. Yeah, glue stick required. PLA is the only one with the no on there. Does anyone know what the mega combo for 508 gets you? Let's take a look. Looks like you get a 0.2 nozzle, a 0.4, a 0.6, and that smooth PEI plate, or the high temperature plate, or what they're calling a smooth PEI, because I don't know if it does high temp or not. Maybe that's why they're calling it a smooth PEI. But it looks like you get a 0.2, an extra 0.4, and a 0.6. And stainless steel on the 0.2 and hardened steel on the 0.4 and 0.6. So you get the extra plate and a couple of nozzles. That's not a bad deal. It's probably what you, $510. That's probably what I would go with. And if you have some young folks out there like Peter, they're, you know, this is probably a really good Christmas present for some folks coming up. Jeff, I might have to get one and try it. You know, it's a possibility. Darren, the P1P to P1S upgrade is gone. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I never saw this. What's this mystery box components kit? What the heck is this? A lamp kit? Wireless mouse components kit? So you can print your own mouse? That's kind of cool. Marble run engine. Has anybody tried any of these? I never seen these till right now is the first time I ever even seen this thing. And yeah, Eduardo, I heard that the A1 hot end exchange is super easy. And then where was that P1P to P1S upgrade? Was it in these before? I remember they had that bundle or whatever where you could get the upgrade for, what was it, like $100 or something like that, and it had all the glass and everything. There it is, 150 right here. It's still on here, Darren. I just went under the accessories for P1, and it was like on the second page. Maybe it was the third page. Yeah, third page right there. And then, Joe, I bought all four. One random kit is included in each of the A1s. Oh, I did not know that. Thanks for letting us know. And Alistair, every unit comes with one. Awesome. And then, Eduardo, you ordered the engine in the marble run but hadn't arrived yet. Awesome. That engine looks kind of cool. See, cool stuff like this, bringing this community in is what will get us cool stuff like that, like the mystery box stuff. That's not the difference maker, but that's these are cool things to add into the ecosystem for sure. Yeah, the marble run looks cool. Print your own mouse thing looks cool. And again, an A1 mini, these are good little projects for, kids and stuff to put these little things together, make a little lamp or make their own mouse. I mean, how cool would it be to go? Could you imagine going to elementary school with your own mouse that you printed, or middle school or whatever? Come on. I wonder how tall I can extend that run. See, throw it in Fusion, start messing around. And there's a video on the marble run. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I didn't see anything new in the filaments either. Other than, there's a new bundle, I guess, with carbon fiber. If you're looking at doing carbon fiber, this is probably the bundle to get right here. Good pack of it. PET, PLA, PAHT, and PETG. Just check in on this and see, make sure it hasn't slid off the gold plate yet. No, but still doing good. The sale of 4 is still on. Is it? Oh, snap. They put the sale back on. Yeah, it was gone last week, wasn't it? Good eye. Good eye, Joe. I did not notice that, but they did put that sale back on. And look, mostly everything's in stock, too. That's a newish color. Yeah, mostly everything is in stock too. Yeah, it's not the cheapest in the world, but it is good. Good filament. I've been pretty satisfied with it. And Peter, they released assembly videos. Awesome, awesome. I might order some of those eventually. Oh yeah, let's look at the what is this thing called here? Oh, let's agree to all of their stuff. Maker World. I saw you guys talking about this earlier. This looks pretty cool. Whenever it gets more fleshed out, it'll be really cool as well. And this is pretty cool. You can see different ways that it's sliced or whatever, and when you click on these, it just opens right in Bambu Studio. And we can just always allow. And then it loads everything right in there for you. And if you'll notice, it's showing you which filament to use. It's just using a generic white Sunlu and Sunlu. That's pretty interesting. But it's kind of cool that you can just click on it and it puts it in there for you. We'll discard all of that. So this is pretty cool. And again, this is where the A1 mini crowd comes into play, right? To make this stuff all easy, right? Because we all know that our first print was a nightmare to get that thing going, so to make this as easy as possible for everybody is a good thing. And things like this, I think, are a really cool thing. Trending models, this is a lot like printables and what is that, Prusa, that's really driving printables, right? And doing all of that. And it's all about that ecosystem, and this is really cool. And I think Eduardo was talking about being able to use it from the Handy app, which I think that's pretty cool. I don't really use the Handy app that much, so it's not something for me. But I think that's really cool. And again, it's that lowering the level of entry. You don't even need a computer to start printing some of this stuff, or to, print multicolor, right? From the Handy app, that lowers the level of entry into our community. So that's another thing that, the A1 Mini, I think, brings into play here, and all of these things. And we will all benefit from all of this stuff, right? It'll benefit our whole ecosystem, I think. Yeah, here's the marble run you can print. And yeah, I think all of this stuff's really cool. Yeah, there's the video. And hopefully they come up with more projects like that. That's really cool to do projects like that, And then Justin, I'm printing from World Maker right now, or Maker World, as a test. Yeah, let us know how it goes. I like that, the Maker is able to put a couple of different ways to print in here, and you can kind of decide how you want to print it and look into the different, right? This takes 31 hours. This takes 29 hours. This is 30, almost 37. This is almost 46. Right, and what each, organized by part type to allow multicolor on any printer, high quality, strong, and safe. So I think that's really cool. And this is, this is taking a little bit of what Printable's doing to a bigger level. So I'll probably sign into this and start an account and everything on that. Maybe upload some of my models to here, because this is kind of cool. And I saw this when I updated the software. Yeah, monitor your prints with your Handy app on cell phone and iPad. Yeah, and I think that's good. It's not something that I use because I have computers and everything. But again, I think that's really cool to be able to do. And again, that lowers that entry level. And then 3D HP, hello from Las Vegas. Just sub. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. And hey from Vegas, I was just there not too long ago. Awesome place. I stayed at Resorts World the last time I was there for the first time. It was pretty cool. The construction for the F1 race, good grief. I took a 1.8 mile cab ride that took like 45 minutes there. And Colorado Adventure Club, yeah, to have access to this stuff as a kid, I mean, good grief. So I had access to stuff as a kid, you know, Legos and stuff and building blocks, and you know, my family built a lot of stuff and always was kind of, you know, making different things or working on stuff or fixing stuff or making stuff better, different things like that. You know, and this is the same type of thing, you know, it's bringing in these doing things with your hands type of stuff, and, you know, playing with technology in a really creative and, you know, constructive way, which I think is really cool. So I agree with you there, Colorado Adventure Club. If I had this as a kid, I would have tripped out, man. And I did the update today on one of my computers, and I just did the update on this computer a little while ago. And then Jeff, I had access to a 286 computer when I was a kid. The very first computer I ever had was an Apple IIe. And then Colorado Adventure Club, I've been to the new makerspace at the library in Greeley. I have not. We should go there. Check it out. But yeah, to have access to all of this stuff, you know, if, again, the A1 isn't the extra large printer that we all wanted, but again, I think that we will all benefit from having this in our ecosystem and in our community. It's just going to bring a lot more people here. Yeah, let's do a video. Let's go make a video of that makerspace in the library, if it's cool. I think that'd be awesome. I used to live in Minnesota, and I covered education accounts, so I got to see a lot of these maker spaces in some of the high schools and stuff that are around the country, and there's some pretty cool stuff out there. There's some people definitely doing some cool stuff out there. And then Eduardo uses a MacBook Pro, and then Colorado Adventure Club, same here. I'm PC Master Race, just kidding. I work for a company that is a big partner of Microsoft, and I have lots of computers that run Microsoft on there that I have not paid a lot of money for, so we'll just leave it at that. But prior to working where I work now, I had a Mac Mini. All right, so we have a couple minutes left. Anybody out there have any other questions or anything like that? Let's put it back on. The print. And then Renee, good night, Lynn and Chad. I'm here using my gold PEI plate. Wow, I love it. I love the gold PEI plate. I owe you guys 20 minutes. All right, fair enough. And the print's got 22 minutes, so we'll go to the end of the print, and I'll show you the end of the print. That's funny. And Renee actually sent some prints in, so why don't we take a look at those? All right, these look really cool. I've thought about, Renee, I've thought about printing this one so many times. That's really funny. That one came out really cool. What color of filament is that? Then Larry 527AZ. Hey Larry, new to the channel. Thanks for joining. And Larry recently subbed. I'm thinking about getting an X1. You won't be disappointed. I definitely love my X1. Do lots of cool stuff with it. And then Joe, how do you find the Bambu Lab Maker World? I think it's on the internet somewhere, but the easiest way to find it is if you've updated your software, your Bambu Studio, right here under these online models. Just click on one of those and it'll take you to the Maker's World. Yeah, just click on one of those and it'll take you over there. And let's take a look at Renee's print. What color of filament is this? Is this a gradient of some sort? And these wire ones are insane. Somebody was saying that it was unbelievable that you can print them, and it amazes me that you can print those things every time I see them. It's really cool. Oh, did they? I haven't checked my Handy app, so they updated that as well. I'll have to check out that. And can you get to the Maker's World from the Handy app as well, Eduardo? Since you've already updated it. I guess you can, because Justin says that there's a tip. For the Handy app, go to settings, and you can select to show your devices instead of the Maker World on startup. Got it. Good tip, and good to know that that's in there as well. And again, it's a lower level of entry, to go and get a model to print multicolor, right away and right out of the box. That's pretty good, and right from your cell phone. Bamboo ocean to green. Yeah, that's what it looked like. That looks really, really cool. And Jeff, you had the beta version for the Handy app and Maker World. Then you have some models out there as well, Jeff, on Maker's World. Just a cool Superman light box that you made. Awesome. Send me a link to your page and email or something, and I'll highlight it in next week's thing. I don't think you can leave a link in the chat. YouTube will cry about it. But email it to me, and I'll leave a link to it so we can all go and like your page and everything. I'm sure a lot of people would like to print that Superman one though, Jeff. That's pretty cool. And you make some cool stuff as well, so we'll have to follow your Maker World there. And then Larry, being new to the channel and everything, do you have any questions or anything like that we can answer for you? There's a lot of smart people on the chat here. Ton of smart people here. If there's anything that we can answer for you, just let us know. And same for 3D HP. If you have anything to ask or anything to contribute, let us know. And we got 13 minutes left. Colorado Adventure Club will we'll let it go to the end here since it started a little late there. And then Glenn says, just a note to say hello. I've been following you for a while now. Thanks for the follow, Glenn, and thanks for watching everything. And then Larry, I have more questions than we have time for. What suggestions for spare parts to order with the new X1? That's a great question, actually. And then Joe says, has anyone done the torture toaster and have all tabs free to move? I have not tried the torture tester or torture toaster at all just yet. So Larry, great question there. Let's go over here. Things that I would order with the X1 is this gold textured PEI plate for sure. Definitely order this thing. Don't even mess around. You definitely want one of these. You can also get a high temperature plate for like the ASA and ABS, but you don't necessarily need that. The cool plate has an engineering plate on the other side that you can use for that. Getting a couple of spare nozzles with the fan, or even the nozzle with the extruder on there, having an extra extruder, as well as another thing that I would have on hand. Let's see. What else would you guys recommend that Larry have on hand there? The nozzles is a big thing, because if those bust or get clogged or something, you want to be able to easily replace those. Having a 0.2, 0.4 is what you're going to use mainly, and a 0.6 if you want to do carbon fiber. I recommend the 0.6 on there. You'll need glue for some of the plates. I just started using the liquid glue, and that's actually really good. This little bundle right here is pretty cool for these glue sticks. That'll last you forever as well. These thermistors and ceramic heaters, these are for your nozzle replacements, but you don't need to replace your nozzle too much with the Bambu. You rarely have to do it. I only do it for, like, if I'm doing the lithophane, you got to switch over to the 0.2, so I change the nozzle for that. If you're doing the carbon fiber stuff, I like to use the 0.6, so I switch over to that. So you'll want these whenever you switch over. You'll want to replace these or whatever. I don't think you have to, but I do, because they're pretty inexpensive and you don't do it very much. The new version of these anti-vibration feet, and make sure you get version 2. Some people have said these are really good. I had version 1 and I thought they weren't that great. But some people have said version 2 are really, really good. And then spare PTFE tube for the AMS. Joe, great call. Great call. Jeff, the gold PEI plate. Justin, the hardened assembly, 0.4 complete nozzle. Carbon filters, yes, carbon filters. The desiccant, if you're going to do the AMS. If you're not going to, you might want to print the little tray to do the, recyclable desiccant, but you might want to at least get one of these for the meantime. After 3 months or so, you'll need the carbon air filter, this thing right here. So you'll probably want to buy one of those or a couple of those. And then let's see what else. And then Hero Psycho, am I the only one who uses Aquanet hairspray instead of glue? No, there's a couple of other people that have made a comment about Aquanet hairspray as well. Colorado Adventure Club, I honestly don't use any glue, Hero. And remember the PTFE tube for Bambu is larger than some others. Yeah, and they have a spare. I think I bought this with my original purchase as well because I have a ton of PTFT tube. But I think they have a real inexpensive one here, Larry. You'll want to, I guess, yeah, right here. $3 for some spare PTFE stuff. So have that on hand as well. If one of those tubes breaks or wears out, you'll have one on hand to do that. And then Hero Psycho, do you print PETG and or TPU? Every once in a while, I'll print those. TPU, you can't run through the AMS. And PETG, I run that every once in a while. I actually have some clear PETG or translucent PETG that I need to do that for. And then Larry, thanks guys. I'm making a list here, and depending on how much I can afford, I'll order. We'll start with the gold PEI plate. Yeah, if there's only one thing that you can get, it's the gold PEI plate. Make sure it's that. And then a complete nozzle, just a spare one spare nozzle. Start with that and start building the stuff up, and get these little $2-3 things every time you go and get you some filament or something. That's one of the things that I do whenever I do a filament order. Come in here to your accessories and make sure you have all of this stuff, and get your cutter heads every once in a while. Get you some silicone sock ends on the next order. On one of these orders, get your thermistors. The next one, get your ceramic heaters or whatever, and just slowly build up on some of this stuff. And then start getting, the other thing that I'd recommend, Larry, once you have everything is start getting some of the spare parts for the AMS, because those will wear out and you don't want to get hung out to dry and you can't print because this wheel or whatever got hung up. The one, this tube right here, this feeder tube, this whole assembly right here, filament will get stuck in here. You can actually clean it all out, but it takes a little while to take it apart and everything. So I have a spare one in there. So when that happens, I just put this one in there, and then I clean the other one when I have time. That way it doesn't stop my print. So those are some of the stuff that I would recommend on there. And then Eduardo, I got his X1 combo about 3.5 months ago, and yet to change any parts on the printer. I have over 1,000 hours on it. The last time I checked, about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I think Colorado Adventure Club went like 7 months without changing a nozzle. I changed nozzles to do the lithograph and all of that, or lithophane and all of that. That's the only reason that I changed the nozzles. Otherwise, you don't have to do much. I've changed a carbon filter and that stuff like it recommends in the guide. And then Justin, where do you find the total print time and all of that? It's under the maintenance on the front of the printer, right? And Larry, and then Eduardo, I have done maintenance on the X1, but no parts have needed change. Yeah, same. I haven't had to change any belts or any of that stuff. I did have one tube in my AMS mess up, and I replaced it, but then I was able to fix it just by cleaning it. But I haven't had none of this other stuff. All the fans work, and I bought extra fan for the nozzle just, and you know, this extra extruder just so I would have the extra ones there. But for the most part, nothing's needed changing. Yeah, Larry, if you have spare parts, you'll never need it. But if you don't have them, it will jack you every time, right? The only that will need replacing will be the ones that don't. That's my kind of luck. Yeah, exactly. That's my kind of luck. Bad luck. I've only had to replace a tube in the AMS, but it came with extra. It did come with extra in mine as well. I think I bought the extra kit with mine. And I've had to replace... one tube had a small little thing where I could, if you look at one of my maintenance videos, it had a little nick on it that I could feel, and I replaced all 4 tubes in that AMS. But that was the only thing that I had on there, and it was on the tube that I used the most. So, but yeah, little by little, get all of these little things that might go wrong. But again, not a lot has gone wrong with mine. Just some minor stuff that was pretty easy to fix. But yeah, the gold PEI plate, I love that. That's what I'm printing on right now, as a matter of fact, as well. It's gold PEI plate. And if you watch my review video on it, it holds really good when it's hot, and then as it cools, it lets go. And I have a good time-lapse video that kind of highlights that. But yeah, this gold PEI plate, I think you'll hear everybody on here highly, highly, highly recommended. And even the things that I thought I needed to replace on it, I was able to fix. There was like just a little piece of filament or something stuck in there, and I was able to... There's plenty of videos out there that show how to take the stuff apart and fix it and stuff, so it wasn't too bad to tinker with it, Larry. So the consumable stuff, and you know, a couple different size nozzles and the PEI plate. And then Justin, I have 2 gold plates, so one will cool while I'm printing again. That's pretty funny. And Alistair, same here. That's awesome. That is awesome. And great question, Larry. And I think, Glenn, you asked a question as well. I didn't catch that one, but it looks like everybody answered it for you. Thank you for the questions in the chat. And thank you, everybody, for clicking the like button as well. I appreciate it. Larry, yep. Downtime on the printer is not a good thing. And there are lots of times when you are literally taking one plate out, tossing the stuff off, slamming it right back in there, and hitting print on the computer again. Especially when you're building your honeycomb hex plate wall, and you're trying to spit those plates out by the hour. That's when that comes in real handy. Anyone use the one with the CF pattern? Which one is that? And then Justin, I've only used the base smooth plate 2 times. The rest of the time it's gold plate. Sometimes there's some smaller stuff that doesn't like to stick to the gold plate there that I use the cool plate or another plate for. But otherwise, that's it. All right, let's go take a look at this thing. Man, it is really holding on to that white PLA, but it finally came off there. Then Hero Psycho, I haven't used those, but they don't last very long. It's called like a PEO or something like that. I tried another plate. I'm not going to say the brand of it or whatever, but a Lite plate, and it did not stand up to the test. Did not perform like the gold PEI plate, so I didn't make a video on it. And then Justin on Amazon, the carbon fiber plate I've been thinking about getting. It's not a Bambu plate, so I'm hesitant. I did the video on the PEI plates from the third-party manufacturers and everything. They performed not as good as the gold PEI, but they performed. So if it's not super expensive, it's probably worth trying. Colorado Adventure Club is $18, so it's not terrible. You may want to use Release Agent. There's a short video on how to find the hours in the printer. Yeah, it's on the little front GUI of the printer. I've heard people have pulled coding sections off of theirs after just a few prints. Wow. To find the hours, go to device info. It's on the little front thing there. The PEO plates is what I mean by people damaging the plates quickly, those ones with weird patterns. Yeah, that is good to know. Colorado Ventures Club said good to know. Thanks. Yeah, that is good to know. If you find a good one, let me know. We'll let everybody else know. It's always good to find the good plates. And right now, that gold PEI plate, unless you're doing something super small or with a tiny footprint, it likes to walk around on that. But for the most part, when it's hot, it grabs onto stuff, and when it cools down, it lets it go. So right now, that one's the top dog. But it would be cool to have some other patterns or some other like textures if you don't want that type of texture. Like a carbon fiber one would be pretty cool as well. That would be a pretty cool effect to put on the prints, because I do like the textured finish that it does put on these. And then if you use like the engineering plate or something like that, that one puts a really cool finish on the bottom as well. The Wham Bam plate makes the bottom almost like glass, like you can almost see a reflection off of it. It's so shiny to some point. And then it looks like we're past our 20 minutes of me talking to myself. I gave that back. So we'll go ahead and start shutting this down. Justin, easy to clean the PEI Gold 2. Little dish soap and hot water. Let it dry and you're good to go. I agree. The energetic PEA plate is great for prints with small bed contact surfaces or for ABS, ASA, nylon, warp-prone filaments, glass-like finish on the bottom. That's good to know. Yep, got to run. I do as well. Thank you, Jeff, Joe, Colorado Adventure Club, Alistair, Larry, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see everybody next week. And smash that like button on your way out. And I hope everybody watches my video tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.